video, I would have not known that the gun was jammed. But we are live. What's going on, Lewis?
Fellas, if you pull the gun back real slow, hold it like this, and then you still hold it and barely release it, it's gonna snow. It ain't gonna work properly.
But what percent of people that like they can eyeball a gun and be like, okay, that gun is jammed? I don't think the cashier, he looked like he was young and he was probably a little scared. So he not thinking about the gun being jammed. He like, oh, that's a jammed gun. He ain't thinking about that. He said, well, let me give all this money away.
First day he thought about, can I hold my bowels?
Yeah, that too.
That's the first one.
Right, correct.
Okay, I can hold it. Here's the money.
Yeah, right.
Some people piss on themselves.
Right. And we're not laughing at the guy, but it's just when you're in a situation like that, he was trying to give him all the money. Then he ended up giving him the cash register drawer too. The dude was like, nah.
A gun in his face too, ain't it?
Yeah.
Mm. Boy, he needed to get the booty warrior need to go in his room.
So that's not a thug. You don't think that's considered a tough guy? That's Boss Man D-Lo, those types.
You got $32. And the consequence for that $32 is 15 years.
30 years in jail, probably. Right.
So is it worth it? The problem is the man probably had a mental problem.
You talking the black dude?
Black dude pulling the gun up. Pulling it back and slowly pulling it. Give it a thing.
Was he better off not pulling the gun out and just trying to rob him regularly? Isn't it a better charge that way than when you involve a firearm when you're trying to rob somebody?
I seen the movie King Kong when the big black one is big and the other one fair
white. Fair skin.
Gun and nothing. It was an armed bear robbery. Guns, you know this.
Yeah.
You flash these too fast. Wow. If you do this.
Right.
Yeah.
You on the attack. If you reach it slow for your ID, that could be violence. Yeah.
These are guns. People scared. All right, Brady. I don't know. This is a clip for maybe a year ago. Okay. I went to a break for it. It says self-awareness. So let's just freestyle it.
Okay, go ahead.
They're telling me to ask you, what would you rate yourself?
Is she gonna say 7?
Looking at me right now, probably like a 6. Okay. But outside of work, once I get myself together, probably like a 7, 8.
Can she? Okay, now let me just play it. Hold on. I'm sorry, people. I got to be trying to be careful.
Okay. So she's a 6 right now, but when she dials herself up, she's a 7 or 8.
All right, Brandon, let's get into it. If she's
go ahead.
You think she could get to the 8 level?
No. And I say that because that's a high level to get. From 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, you think you 2 notches off of perfection? I think that's what people think. Like, I stay in the 7, 8 range. That's like average. I think people think that's average when that's not average for the most part. But that's
perfection. Brandon is an 8, and she can scramble eggs. All right, so 8, and she can cook dinner. Perfection. A 10. A 10 all day she can do is buy stuff and that's a low life to me.
and baby oil.
She can't cook, she can't wash kids.
Yeah. So you're not talking about overall. You're talking about you are talking about overall. You're not talking about just appearance. She was asking her I thought it was looks.
Oh yeah, but I just had to make a joke.
Yeah.
Brandon.
But that's
inside joke.
No, I got you.
But I think that's what you could do. The better you look to guys.
That is true too. And like I said, I think that's how guys look at it. Like long term, if a guy's looking at you today, does he want something good to look at? Yes, but you also have to come with things that he likes too. If he's doing all the cooking, he's paying all the bills, every time he turn around, you laying around, that makes you less attractive to him in a way. And he may not want to deal with that.
And let me tell you the history of light switches.
Go ahead.
All right, they invented the light switches. So when you get you a 3, but she does everything right, you hit the light switch off. You know?
Okay.
And then
it don't matter. It don't even matter that much.
And then when you're done, you hit the light switch up. Time the lights come on, she's sweeping the floor. You know what I'm saying?
And we just joke because I get what you're saying, but we're supposed to be trying not to sound misogynistic. But that's a funny joke. That it is some truth in what you're saying, but
yeah. That's the
what
real
Lewis
life
is trying to say is with your looks plus your other attributes, it adds to the overall appearance that we go by. We're like, oh, okay, you know, if we see you doing a lot of things that we like, it just adds to when we look at you how we feel.
I ain't never seen a broke guy say what a ugly guy say what a hoes at.
And why is that?
But I seen a rich ugly guy say what a hoes at, and the hoes came.
Right. And they willing to deal with it. Yeah.
It's terminology. Listen, it's the same thing. Women like the money.
Yeah, for sure.
We like the brooms.
And the spatulas. We like the spatulas.
And the spatulas. That's what we like. And they like the money. So we break our back out there, and y'all break your back in here.
Yeah.
So you want a man that is, and so I guess you're being generous when you say you want a 5.
Yes, I'm being generous because again, I don't look at their face first. It's the connection. So you might have a flaw that I don't like, and hopefully you can fix that flaw. But then you got some dudes that they just know they busted, and then they trying to approach you. And nice talking to you, sir.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, Deborah. Now you don't. I don't do the rating thing, but you brought it up.
I mean, because it's kind of hard to tell you what I don't like in a guy because I don't go by their appearance. I don't care if they're fat. I don't care if they're skinny. I don't care if they're short and tall. It's all about the personality and if we connect and have a good conversation or not. That's what I lead off with first, not their looks.
Well, you told me that he had to be a 5, and when I asked you what was a 5, you said things based off of looks. Well, you said teeth, you said hygiene, and you said so. I thought it wasn't.
You're so nosy.
It wasn't personality driven when you said number 5. Who's that?
Right. That's my boss being super nosy. I hope you know you're on live Facebook.
Oh, thank you. You all right?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Real quick, do you think he's spicy? He's zesty? You think he might just be
Man, Brad, you know, back there, this looked like they had a kiwi bar or something. We got a lot of lime juice and citrus juice back there with some vodka in it. That's all.
Okay, so he just turned up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, this man brings home $2,000 a week selling hot dogs, barbecue hot dogs. This man happy, Brandon.
Okay.
Yeah, working 50 hours, bringing $2,000 a week. Is that good money, Brandon?
Is $2,000 a week, which is what, $8,000 a month?
Yeah, cash.
Go
50 hours a week selling hot dogs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, good for anybody.
Yeah.
You was about to say something before that?
Oh no, I was just wondering what because people like to do these lives.
Yeah. Hey, man,
he kind of jumped in there.
You know, who cares, Brandon? If he's
I just want to know.
You try to look down his drawers or something, Brandon. That's what you want to know.
No, because she's doing a lot. She's at work, it seems like. And her boss coming over there kind of nosy. And he seemed like he cool with it. Usually you don't see that kind of stuff going on, but especially because they say black men, we're mean, we don't like to get along. I just saw one right there. He came by, he was support us. He didn't say, Shanice, get off the live. Cut that off, get back to work. He didn't do any of that.
I told you, Brandon was at the hot dog factory. He was telling people, do that. do this, do that. And people
Yeah.
just showed up next day because they didn't do because he done that. Well, you Brandon, do he want his staff to stay there? Yes, or
Yes,
no?
it does. Yes.
Then why you go Malcolm Myers? What you out here for? You ain't on the
Right.
You always
Yeah.
eat all
Yeah.
the biscuits.
Correct.
You know, that's why you're gaining weight. Then he get
You
lost.
try to be a little stern, but you got to be flexible too, and you got to be kind of like their friend because you want them to feel comfortable. You want them to stay. You want them to feel like they're having a good time. It's a good work atmosphere. It's safe. All those things.
Friend, what kind of friends you got, Brandon? They're on the same level as me and you.
No. Just quote unquote friend. Like you want them to feel like they can talk to you. Y'all can communicate. That's all I mean. Not and
All right,
and
let
when
me,
you
let
say
me give something better.
Go ahead.
Experience.
go ahead.
Firm but fair. You heard me
Yeah.
say that before,
Yeah,
Brandon.
for sure. Uh-huh.
Honest. You heard
Mhm.
we talked about integrity.
Yeah.
Do what you're gonna say. Be polite.
Yeah.
Smile. Positive.
Yeah.
Just doing that will have people come and talk to you.
For sure.
And some people, Mr. Robert Paul, when I first got on the job, he started gossiping about me. He said, "Why this nigga so damn happy?" It's boastful.
Right.
You know, that's the first time I got that. The man was too damn nice.
Yeah. And that's another thing that happens at the job. Men do gossip too, like women. They want to act like they don't, but they do. They be talking about one another in a negative way.
Yeah. And both of them make $6 an hour.
This whole rating thing, I don't do that.
I did.
But since you brought it up, we're taking a moment to deep dive. When you said
Okay.
5, you were referring to, I believe, appearance, not
Right.
personality.
Right, because you asked me, how do they look? What do I look for as an
Right.
appearance
Yeah,
wise?
the question is, should he look a certain way?
Right. So it's a no. But if I had to pick something, it would be no one, in the things that I described.
Okay,
All right,
fair
Brandon.
enough.
Now,
Fair.
since you brought up, is he spicy? And you want to know what's down this man's pants.
That's a lot. Go ahead.
All right. What is a 5? Okay, what is a 5 to you? A man that's a 5 to you? You can answer the question without me.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'll tell you. If you got most of your teeth.
Yeah, but no. But
What?
you say it as a woman. You ain't say it as like you. What do women call a 5? What do women
A
call
5?
a 5?
I don't know. I don't know whether that's tough. I think for men, we've got it a little easier in the looks department because
What do women call
I'm trying to get there because a 5 is as long as you got teeth and eyes, you may be a 5. That might be a 5.
So if the man is 5'1" with teeth and eyes,
Yeah. He
he's
might
a
be a
5.
6.
He's an average man.
Yeah. I don't
In
think women
appearance, in attractiveness for a woman.
Yeah, because I just think women, and I don't want to say it in the wrong way. It doesn't matter what you look like. If you've got money and you've got a job,
We ain't
you're
talking about-
above a 5. But that goes into their looks. People say they look at your looks, but they also want to know how much money you make. Just like men, we'll say, well, we want to know about your looks, but we also weighing other factors in. So I
Okay.
can't tell you what a woman think a 5 is, but you can be a 5 in appearance and you can have a lot of money and you instantly a 8 or a 9 almost. Because you could almost get anybody, but go ahead.
All right, Brandon did make 2 statements that said, man, look at they have a skew if you could do this, and women have a skew if you got that.
Yeah, right.
So that's how confusing stuff is. That's why you can't believe nobody.
Right, but and that's a good thing. But let me throw this out here. Flavor Flav. We would say, can we say he may be a below
3?
a 5? Yeah, okay, but he has some of the
why people. I'll explain it to you. Man walking out the door to closed doors.
Okay.
411.
Up
there, before you grill out all day, come back the next day, how your grill look, that's how he looks.
Okay.
And women was dying over 'em.
Yeah,
Hoops.
it was fighting
But the
over him.
Hoops
Hoops.
was one over it.
New York, yeah. I watched the
Shaq-
show.
Shaq got Flavor Flav sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a stroke. How many sloppy seconds came out for Flavor Flav?
a lot of the girls that's on that show were with other people in the industry after that. So it just goes to show, and that's not when Flavor Flav was at his peak. When he was with Public Enemy, he was doing even more stuff with some of the top women that we would say, and say I'm lying.
Nah, people didn't have a tube back then, Brandon. Only thing they heard
Okay.
him was on the radio. They ain't know how the nigga look.
No, they saw that clock on the cell.
What, on the newspaper? You know?
He said on the newspaper.
Yeah. See, who you was talking about before. See, who you was talking about before. Now people see
What, the
people all
girls?
the time.
Yeah,
Like you
No, I
said,
get what
Flavor
you're
Flav
saying.
wasn't no star. Yeah, because people didn't have stars. He wasn't. Michael
Yeah,
Jackson
it-
was out. All right. Who the fuck listened to him?
You say,
Huh?
you say who would listen to Public Enemy when Michael Jackson was out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big difference for sure.
Nas
Nobody
or
was,
something
yeah.
was album just dropped. Who was listening?
So what number of girls you think he was getting? Like he'll come to the city, do a show. Public Enemy will do a show. He has clock on. They'll go to the mall. He wasn't. So you saying he wasn't getting the top elite girls? He was getting what?
No,
He was getting girls like
elite.
this? Huh?
Elite.
No,
got
he
a
wasn't.
pick. If you didn't roll up in there a wheelchair, you could have got picked. Anything except for the wheelchair, he was picking. And he was
Right.
like he want to.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
Probably got 8. I bet he got 10 Asians on him. Yeah.
And then he got married a couple times, had a bunch of kids. So it's not.
I didn't know his whole life story. Damn,
I
tell
do
me
because
something else about him.
No, I just followed him, and I think that's so. And at the time, it's like all these people are fighting over Flavor Flav, and he probably doesn't have a lot of money, but he does have something people want, and it's some kind of star power, right?
Brandon,
Go ahead. Tell me.
80% of Americans thinks $400 is a lot of money. You know, if
Okay,
Flavor Flav got $96,000 in the checking account, that man's like Bill Gates to him, man.
But if you put somebody, if you stand them beside somebody, and you be like, both of these guys have the same amount of money, they still may give Flavor Flav a chance just because it's Flavor Flav, and he has some kind of star power. He knows some famous people. He can put you around the people you may want to be put around.
And what the other guy go do? Time he to go get off work, take the tire off, he ties
What?
around your damn neck. You know what I mean? Get you that kind. That's the kind of girls women want, Brandon. The puff daddies of the world.
Possibly. I mean, so is that what all the famous people are doing, abusing people, or is it all men abusing women in some way?
Well, I watched a show called 1823 on Paramount.
What's that?
The rich man, he had a fantasy. He get them young girls off the streets, pump them up, and dump them down.
What you mean pump? Oh, you talking about having sex with them?
Nah,
Or
but
put
crazy
drugs in 'em.
stuff. I'm talking about crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Mixing pain and sex.
Yeah, but I'm not saying we trying to sympathize with these rich people, but if you're rich, like you don't have the same problems we have. Like they need new stuff to do and try. It's like I'm bored. Let me go because I can get anybody I want because I got
nah,
no,
bro.
go ahead. Okay, well,
Brett,
you don't feel that way?
Some people got fantasies and desires.
Most people do. Most people do.
All
If you give a lot of anybody some money, they may start doing some weird stuff because you start getting power, you start getting an ego, and if you're not right with your foundation and you're not right with God, maybe then you'll start doing all these other stuff. Maybe because some people can be bought. Go ahead. What you want to say?
I'm trying to say. You say because they bored. No, people do. People want to do things, Brandon. They don't have
that's
to
true.
be bored.
That's true. No, you're
The
right.
bored,
That's true.
The people who do things that's bored when they bored, those are the mentally challenged people. Those are people be fighting all the time.
Okay.
Most people ain't like that. I gotta do something because I'm bored. No, they gonna do what they want. You can do what you want.
That's a funny.
Normal, you just do what you want.
Nah, I get what you say.
People, I'm bored. Boy, I'm gonna do something crazy. Just do what just do what you like normally.
Right.
But they can't do it.
No.
Man, take that light off your damn.
No,
camera,
I'm trying to look
Brandon.
at. We had a comment. See, I knew he was gonna say
Okay.
something. I'm trying to see, but go ahead. I looked at the video. I'm not trying to get off topic. I looked at the video. I see the weird thing that it does. It does like a film over it for some reason.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What you was gonna say? You gonna finish playing the video? Because like I said, I think this lady knows, you know, certain thing about herself. I think she's looking for a guy that's a 5 because she thinks she's in that range too. Like I think she thinks she's a 5.
Told on herself.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
And she can't be a 5. You down with doing that? You know?
Right.
She can't be. Watch this. If she look like that and she 52, man, that's a bad beat.
But how old do you think she
maybe
is?
58. That's a
But how
bad
old do you
beat.
think she is? You think she's in her 20s?
I think she's in her 20s, people.
Okay, well, no.
If you read the lines I just said, I mean, I put 30 years on her ass. You know?
Right.
But I didn't call her ugly. But
No,
at 30, if she looked like that at 30 years,
we good, right?
but you look like that now.
What do you think? People aging faster?
Of course, Brandon.
But why is that?
Brandon, is it? Look, man, come on, people. Come on. Come on, people.
What? So you saying people not eating enough fruit? They're not drinking enough water? What?
This was raised on 100% no nutrients in the ground. Well, we sprayed it on top of it. And it's not real. You die off.
Yeah.
The cells die off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why people smoke, drink, don't get no sleep. Man, them dead cells be dead in their face.
Right.
Yeah.
But what?
That's why.
Go ahead.
That's
I'll let you
why it's
finish.
important. Get your sleep, people. Get
Yeah.
your sleep.
But
know,
you remember?
I ate some processed food today at work. That thing had me high as hell. It's on our channel. If you watch that, talk about hamburger steak, that little shit I had in that bottle, I ate it today. I was about buzzed up at work.
So when you say that, so you don't feel like you have itis, you don't feel sleepy. You say you feel like you got a high.
Nah, this ain't no sleeping, Brandon. It's like slightly painful. You know, it's like right here, but it's you cool, but you be like, damn, what the hell?
Yeah, and you know, I told you the other day when I had some of that Trader Joe clam chowder. Like as soon as I had it, I started feeling ill, and like for some reason my body is sensitive. And you know, when you get older, it's like that. Your body can pick up on stuff when it's not. I'm not gonna say contaminated, but it's heavily processed and it's got heavy preservatives in it. And
see what Brandon said, you're halfway dead. Your body's halfway dead. So when you put the extra hits in it,
right, and that's how
I'm halfway dead, but you did this. It hurts a little more.
Yeah. I might have been able to take that, you know, when I was young, 20, but now I'm 40. So like you say, we not halfway dead, but you're halfway to the midpoint. You're almost at the midpoint of your life. We'll say that.
Your car got 200,000 miles on it. That's all I gotta say.
And an oil change ain't gonna save me.
Some people making a 110 be lucky. You know, some people making
110,000 miles.
No, 210.
Oh, 210. Okay.
Yeah, 210. And be extreme. What's 210? 70 years old. You know what I'm talking about? We halfway, Brad. Life is halfway over, Brad.
Yeah.
I'll be 82. You double my age.
And like you said, we've had this talk before. Like this is where mobility and your agility and all that stuff starts to die out completely. Like we can still be active, but it's just not gonna be the same. So you're on a decline. So you got to remember that. Then you have an injury when you got to get your knee replaced and your hip replaced and all that kind of stuff. So you got to be very careful. make sure you're taking care of your body.
Yeah, speaking on that knee, yesterday I said, man, let me get that strap. Put that strap around our ankle, stretch
Mhm.
that quads and hamstrings. This is really for your knee. Straight out.
Mhm.
I need to get that mobility back because that flexibility will keep
Yeah.
you from getting hurt.
Yeah.
For example, drunk drivers, they hit that bottle, right?
Mhm.
And that bottle make them loose. So they driving down the highway loaded as a fox. Get in an accident. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah.
Everybody died except for who, Bernie?
The driver.
Because he was done. He was loose. He was dodging the debris, loose. You know, everybody else was still.
That's funny.
They hit you. You see?
I
That
got you.
flexibility keep you safe.
Yeah. You're
That
right.
flexibility keep you safe.
You're right.
All
And you kind of
over.
got to warm up your joints and stuff like that. So you call that like stretching and warming up? What you did, the exercise you did, or just the
Increasing
act
my
of putting it on?
increasing my range of motion.
Okay.
So you want to people don't know. I had my leg for most of since March 2024 till earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
My range of motion was only like that. So over time, you got to work it.
Yeah.
And how you work it, you like got to stress your like those quads and those quads and hamstrings out.
Mm-hmm.
And then with me, my mind had like to remember like it
Yeah.
could go that far.
Yeah.
Then over time,
And trusting it, your
Yeah.
mind trusting that. Yeah, I got
and
you.
then you just get the motion.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the motion. So yeah, you got to stretch it out.
Yeah.
Like this right here, my bench press is not high, mainly because for some reason my mind can't flex this arm like this. It wants to.
No, I got you.
And my thumb about to give out. My
And
tendons of my thumb.
And like I said, that's what happens when you get older. So when you're in your prime, when you're in your 20s, like this young lady is, if you're already, and it's okay for us to say this person might be obese because that's just what they're going to say. But you got to take care of yourself when you're young, because when you get older, it's going to be twice as hard. So sometimes people fighting a uphill battle, but you got to turn your health around as soon as possible.
By her bone structure, she'll be all right. She built like a Mack truck, brother. She lasts forever. I can tell that. She got some good, strong genes. She got those. What's that wrestler name who got the daughter? And he was a cage fighter. Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar was
Right,
one of them.
yeah,
I was about to say
Brock
Kim
Lesnar
Shamrock.
genes. She got the Brock Lesnar genes right there, Jack.
Okay,
Boy.
I got you.
Or if she do 5 push-ups, she'll be the strongest woman in the world.
Well, that's one thing I do agree with that. But like I say, we got to worry about heart disease, cancer, all kinds of things that's gonna be going on with diabetes, simple stuff like that. It can seem simple, but that stuff can take off fast and you be in a lot of trouble health wise.
Yeah,
That's all.
because look like she got small shoulders, but that big up front.
Yeah,
Boy,
Back
that blood
problems.
pressure, cholesterol going
Yeah,
somewhere.
well, that too. That too.
that combination, because
Yeah.
your butt. What this tells me, you pray if you get fat, you pray to God you want to get fat proportional, people.
That's true. And how do you mean? Because I already got a picture in my head. Tell me
how I
what you
mean. You see, you in life, you at Walmart.
Uh-huh.
A lady waist this big, but the hips like this.
Okay. Right.
But
That's-
if you're small, ooh, we like that.
Yeah.
But if you put 100 plus 200 pounds, 300 pounds, we don't like that. You be like, what the hell's wrong with this woman?
But I think sometimes people think that's still, I got a lot of ass back there, so it looks good, even though it's just big.
In the 80s, I don't know what they was watching. Back in the 80s, some women get big, it be all on the back of the arm right here.
Right. Right, that too.
I didn't see that since the 80s.
Right.
Why the fat chose to be like that?
And that's what I haven't seen. Do you think people like that they hide it kind of, or they getting surgery to get that taken in?
We're talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a food, Brad. That was real chicken back then, Brad. Chicken fat back. That was real food.
So that's type of food goes straight to them parts.
Yeah, try to feed the triceps, pushing out all those babies and fighting the husband every night to get them off you because you're running your mouth. Yeah, you see, that's how it works.
Yeah,
use the time a person just ain't gonna hit you just to hit you. It's people be doing this to each other all
back
day
and
long.
forth.
Yeah, and some people say, "I'm bored. I'm doing it for fun." That's a crazy person.
No, you're right.
You know, see what Brandon would how Brandon do back and forth. His daughter got go in there, spill the milk, all chocolate milk all over the floor, and don't even clean it up. Just walk off. See, she done something. You know, it was an accident. They got back and forth. But some people spin that chocolate milk on purpose and wait for Brandon to come upstairs.
So that's crazy.
That's the crazy person. You know?
And people do stuff like that. They'll do something and then wait for you to see it so you can react. That's a dangerous relationship or just a situation in general. So
correct. Yeah. So be the person to drop the milk on accident, then get cursed out. Sit down and sound right. You see people, you do things on accidents, and Brandon curses his daughter out. That sound like abuse.
Yeah, it sound like abuse or parenting. I wouldn't curse her out, but I get what you're saying. But it's okay to fuss and argue and stuff like that. That's human nature. We're gonna do that as humans. You don't need to take it to another level like cursing back and forth. That can bring on violence and hitting. Or you provoking somebody saying, hit me. You know, you don't want somebody to hit you. I actually was thinking about this the other day. Go ahead. What you about to say?
Go.
I was like, I wonder if Lewis knows like how far have I gone in like an argument? Because I've never hit my wife, but I've like been really mad and been almost out of control, but I've never hit her or anything like that. But
Brandon,
I can see
throw something.
No, I didn't throw. The most I've ever done is get mad and hit a wall. That's the most I've done, and I was really mad.
Yeah,
and, you know,
in 2 decades, you're all right.
but I'm saying, but you know me, I'm a pretty patient person, and most people aren't like that. So if you arguing back and forth and tempers are high, like you can easily snap because that's how people get. They at a breaking point, and I'm not trying to excuse anybody, but I'm just telling you. Women, be careful. Like arguing with crazy. You know the dude is crazy, or you know he got a thug type energy about him, and he may hit somebody. And it's a lot of women that have been hit before. So I'm just saying.
What's the most I done, Brandon?
Probably the same thing.
No, I told you I bust out that door.
Right. I forgot you did say that.
Yeah, but that wasn't the shit. Somebody bust up before I bust out that door. I got tired of always get my shit busted.
Right.
I guess what, Brandon? Did I bust my own shit? I had to fix the door.
Right.
Yeah.
But you haven't hit anybody, and I just don't. I mean, like I'm not gonna say somebody can't bring you there. Because you can be
I'm pretty close to there now, Brandon.
You could be in a toxic relationship and somebody keep egging you on and y'all going tit for tat and people just poking you and you could snap and have not a breakdown, but you could accidentally do something you didn't mean to do. And it is what it is after that.
Here's what we do, guys. We got to know how you are inside. If you know you are close to your breaking point, try to separate or keep distance with that individual or thing. Try to know your breaking point. Know that when you outside talking to the person who sells cars and you get disrespected, know that's your breaking point. So don't be out there with nobody trying to sell them cars.
Well, what if you don't have a choice and you're in this situation? How do you remain calm? But how do you remain calm? How do you take yourself down? Because I think that's the problem. Sometimes people they'll think they can handle it, and something happen, you be like, you just done got too mad. It's just you gotta say something. You gotta do something now.
No, to remove yourself from the situation. Don't be out there. Ain't
Okay.
nobody had no gun to your head.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't be out there. If I say you at your breaking point, I ain't saying you got 5 more levels to get there. No, you at your point.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely got to try to remove yourself, because if you don't, you could end up in jail over something that's not even that serious because you wasn't that invested anymore in the relationship or situation.
And the other person may not even know they ain't even doing it.
Yeah.
And then you turn to the crazy guy.
Right. And then you look like the bad guy. And then you be like, no, well, see, y'all don't know what she was doing to me, XYZ. So
nah, it's right there, right now. Why you done it? Why you hit her?
Right.
Why you done this? There you go. And that's how it works. That's why I say remove yourself from that situation.
I got you.
And people, some people say, oh, that's passive aggressive. Don't it sound passive aggressive, Brandon?
Not to me, but I can see how people would say that.
Ask your mama. Which one your mama want, Brandon? Your mama want one of these?
Or my daughter, right.
Or she wants somebody just walking away. Pick one, Brandon. Which one you want?
Passive aggressive. Somebody that's choosing
peace. But that's not passive aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, if you know this is a trigger, we think and we act on it.
Yeah.
If Jesus could be silent, why Lewis Presley can't be silent? Damn.
Right.
Why Brandon can't be silent?
Yeah.
Why they say if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all?
Yeah, we be
That's
so
all
caught
I'm
up
trying
in
to say.
some other stuff.
Yeah. They don't know Brandon over there is like one of those honey badgers. You know?
What you mean? I
He
fight.
just be chilling. He just be chilling. But if you grab him, he gonna turn on your ass while you grab him and hit you out. Huh? Like a honey badger.
Right.
So just leave the motherfucker alone. He just chilling.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just chilling. We just chilling. All right, bro. Let's call it a day. I won't keep it too long.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. We will be back soon. We didn't even get to finish this video. I want to see what this nice young lady, if she was gonna slip up anymore. But
it's about over. This.
Oh, she gonna do the Kendra Cam.
All right. Well, that was her. Well, hello.
I'm gonna keep it going. Some people don't.
It's a lot in the front, but
I know when I'm Brandon. She says she's 8 in the looks department, people, and her man cannot be a bust down. I'm a definition of a bust down man, so I don't qualify.
So you would she probably wouldn't pick you, or I think she would pick you. She'd be like, okay, I can get down with this young man, or I can get down with Lewis.
Sure, I can pick her. Boy, Brad, imagine if her grits are smooth in the morning. Imagine if that coffee is French pressed in the morning too. And you get up, you sit back. I don't smell nothing. She used baking soda on that damn. She cleaned up with baking soda.
So those kind of things go a long way. And like I said, I agree. Somebody that's pleasant, somebody, I mean, because you're gonna have your arguments in a relationship. So it's not you're not gonna be with a robot. But for the most part, if it's peaceful and it's supportive and you feel like you got a partner that really cares about you, a great parent, all those things do matter.
Yeah, imagine if she's not lazy, she's willing to work.
Mm.
Imagine if her words, you gotta hit the light switch, like I said, people. Imagine if her words just soothes your heart.
Yeah.
Imagine y'all watching football and she's an excellent compliment to football. On Friday, she'd be like, shit, what we getting for? What we getting after church for the size for the football games at the house?
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask you. Do you like that? You want your lady or somebody that you dating to watch football with you? You don't want to be too into it, but you want to be
if they get to play the role right.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, what is that for you?
you had got two roles you can play. The first one is very hard. You can play it like a nigga. That's hard to do because you're a female.
You know all the stats. What you mean? Know the plays, the defense formation.
Jump like guys talk jump.
Okay.
But you got to know all of that stuff because we talking football. Or you could be complimentary. Excellent to look at. Pleasant. Knows a little about the game. Talk a little, get into it. You know, what Cam Newton doing? He stole that laptop again? Yeah, we got him.
How you remember that?
Huh?
I said, how you remember that?
and you if y'all think that ain't a real quote, I ain't faking on that one. That type of stuff. Yeah, Cam playing good. Man, we're gonna make some slot every week. You try to make something new.
Yeah, no, I got you.
See that. That's nice.
That makes it enjoyable. Not frowning, not trying to, make you feel guilty about watching the game. It's saying it's still on. You still watching this little game? Saying stuff like that. So
yeah,
guys do appreciate that. But we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check us out. We'll be active on here a lot more. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Somebody
Brad, ain't nothing wrong. I don't want to get too hard on it.